Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I know that we all have times when we feel lost or uncertain about what to do next. That's why I'm so excited tonight, because I'm going to share with you what that inner voice, the one we're always trying to quiet, I'm going to share with you what it can do and how you can go about strengthening that inner coach, that coach that gives you guidance to help you achieve those goals that you have been wanting. If you're new to me, if you're new to the channel, I'm Dr. Dwayne Wood. That's Wood with an E, and the E stands for endocrinology. Here on our channel, we help to educate, we help to empower, and we help to encourage you to take charge of your life, your health, avoid complications, and go to that next level. That's what we do. That fulfilling level. And you've caught us. That's right. You've caught us. You see it up there live every day in August. It's day number 26. And we are working on designing a new me. How do we design a better version of ourselves? That's what we've been working on this entire month. And if you've not watched any of these videos yet, you got to get it. You got to get to it. Go back and watch them. We've done 25 so far, including today. It's going to be 26. And we're coming to the end of our month. Oh, just so excited for all that we have been learning. Hope you've been getting a lot of benefit. Hope you have been growing and expanding as we have gone through the month. Also, if you are new to the channel, go ahead and put new in the comments, because we would love to welcome you to our channel, welcome you to the neighborhood. If you have questions, go ahead and put a Q and a colon in front of that question, and we'll know that that's a question, and we'll be able to grab that. If you're on any of our other social media platforms, we're streaming right now to Facebook, we're streaming to Twitter, we're streaming to LinkedIn. You can drop us a note. You can send us a direct message and just reach out to us on all of our social media platform. On all of the platforms, we are dwainwoodemd, right? On all of those social media platforms. And remember, the wood has an E. That's right. But if you are getting some benefit, if you are getting benefit to what we're doing, I want you to go ahead and like this video, give us a thumbs up, let people know that we are here, because we want to grow. We want us all to improve and design these better versions of ourselves that we have been talking about all month long. All right, well, let's get to it. Let's go ahead and let's jump right into it. We're talking about the inner critic and the inner coach. Now, we did a video I think yesterday we did a video on the inner critic, right? How to handle the inner critic. So there are lots of voices in our head, right? They're critical ones. There's the self-doubting. There is the imposter, the imposter syndrome that we talk about sometimes, but there's also the inner coach. The inner coach is that voice of reason, the positive voice that's inside of all of us. And when it comes to achieving our goals, it is the one that is essential to go above the others. And connecting to the inner coach is so important. The inner coach knows what we're capable of, and it believes in us even when we don't believe in ourselves. It's the voice that tells us to keep going when we want to give up. It's the voice that reminds us of our worthiness. It helps us to see the silver lining in every cloud. I'll tell you, and you guys have heard me talk about this before. When I was going through medical school, it was a very difficult process. I had come from another area of study. I was in computer science, some computer science and math. And when I got to medical school, and I tell people that there was not this profound difficulty in the work. It was just, there was like so much of it, right? So I came from an industry where you work things out. You got a problem, you got X, and you work your way out to Z. You could figure it out. There are rules to that. And then I showed up and they said to me, okay, here are these 12 million books. Go ahead and just memorize that. My brain wasn't used to that. So I had difficulty in medical school. And when I first started, when I was going through medical school in the initial days, there were times when I was like, I'm not doing this. As a matter of fact, there was a time when I actually left medical school. Yeah, I did. But there was a professor there, and I won't call his name, that said to me, okay, you're going back. I mean, he didn't ask me, by the way. He said, you're going back. Okay, how do we get that done? And he worked to get me back into medical school. And it was not until late in my career that I began working on that voice. All that time before, there was that voice that kept saying, you don't belong here. You're not going to make it. You're not going to do it. But I had to get to the point where that voice was not the strongest or the loudest voice. And so tonight, here, we're going to talk about that other voice, that coach, the inner coach, right? So why do we want to connect and strengthen the inner coach? One, we want to connect and strengthen that inner coach because it knows what we need to do to achieve our goals. If we're not sure about the steps, it's there. It's the cheerleader. It's always positive. It always has our back. That's the inner coach. The other guys that are in there, yeah, they're always pessimistic and doubting and not sure about themselves. But the coach, that's my boy, right? That's my ride or die. We all the way. In for a penny, in for a pound, as they say. The inner coach can help me stay motivated. So when I'm feeling down or doubting, right, when I'm hearing those other voices in my head, the inner coach is the one that says, nah, come on, we keep going. You remember that little engine that could, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I know I could, I knew I could, I knew I could, right? That's right there. That's the inner coach. The inner coach can help you make better decisions because sometimes all the noise in our heads, we just want to quiet the noise. And so there's this anxiety and we rush to make decisions. But the inner coach says, wait a minute, you don't have to do that. I believe in you. You can take your time. You don't have to just rush to get rid of that feeling. And it can steer you in the right direction. And the inner coach can help keep me accountable. So when I'm tempted to just, maybe I'll do that another time. The inner coach said, what you doing? Come on, we got this. We don't have to procrastinate because we're afraid of it. We can do this. That's the power of the inner coach. That's why we want to do what we do with the inner coach. We want to strengthen it. And so while we can't eliminate the voices, we can certainly make it less effective in our heads by strengthening the inner coach. So let's get to it. So how do we strengthen the inner coach? How do we strengthen the inner coach? Number one, we've got to decide to put the inner coach in charge. Woo! That's a good one, right? The power of this decision cannot be overestimated. The brain is this fascinating thing, this organ, and it's responsible for our thoughts, emotions, and actions. And it turns out that it is also responsible for our decision making. So when we decide to do something, the brain starts to follow suit. It begins the process of finding information. And I've said this before, whatever you tell the brain, it's going to find information and data to support it. And it starts making those plans, those steps that we need to take advantage to achieve our goal. This is known as goal-oriented behavior. And it's vital to helping us achieve what we want. The brain is constantly monitoring our environment, monitoring us, and looking for ways to help us. So when we make a decision, the brain says, okay, that's it. He decided, she decided. We're ready to go. Let's go. Let's go find some stuff. Let's go find a way to make this happen. So you got to decide to put your inner coach in charge. Then you got to develop the art of quietness and practice mindfulness. Develop the art of quietness and practice mindfulness. In our fast-paced world, it can be hard to find a moment of silence. Even when we're alone, right? Because these machines are going off. These devices are going off, right? We can't find a time to get our thoughts together. And sometimes we're tethered to other stuff, right? Like I said, the phone. It's always there. Because of that, we can become so used to, this noise that we no longer notice the noise. And our inner coach is talking to us and we can't hear it. This can have devastating results. When we take the time to be alone with our thoughts, we can process our thoughts. We can process our emotions. We can gain clarity, and our goals are closer and they're more visible. We can see priorities. We can use that opportunity to connect with nature, simplify the things in our lives. And the coach starts to speak. Ooh, love it. Learn to meditate. Find a way. Learn how to meditate. Be intentional about developing mindfulness. Now, mindfulness says that I am here in the present. Do you know that most anxiety and depression comes from either stuff that we've thought about from the past or stuff that we're anticipating into the future? But if we can practice being here, the here and now, then our coach, our inner coach, can talk to us about now. We can connect. So develop the art of quietness and practice mindfulness. Give your inner coach tools to use in supporting you. We're talking about how do we strengthen the inner coach. Give your coach tools that it can use in supporting you. You've done a bunch of things, right? So when you go for a job, or even anybody asks you about yourself, you kind of give them your resume. Create a resume for yourself. Get some cards. Put it in your phone. Put it in notes. Write it on a piece of paper and take a picture. And on that card, on that note, on that piece of paper, in that app that you have, what you're doing is you're listing your stuff. You're listing what are your qualities. If you had to make a highlight reel, yeah, let's use the social media, right? If you had to make a highlight reel, what would be on it? Find those things and make them easily accessible to the coach so that when something's going on and those other guys in your mind, the doubt, the pessimism, the wimpy guy, when they start talking, you just pull it out and say, okay, yeah, there it is. That's me. Right? Make yourself some videos. Save it on your phone where you are pumping yourself. You're giving your resume. And then use it when you need it. Focus on your successes, not your failures. Sometimes the reason we have those thoughts, those negative thoughts, is because we're so busy that we don't remember the successes. Remember, we can't keep everything in our minds. And specifically, especially when we start having an issue, we've had something happen, some difficult situation, difficult conversation, something that we think we failed at, some goal that we've not accomplished. It's hard to remember. So before that happens, give your inner coach a list. Say, dude, when something happens, here, I want you to go get this, pull it out, and let's go through it. Begin journaling. Take your thoughts, put them down on paper. It's much easier to process when something's written out. I've said that I do a brain dump at the end of the day, right? So I sit down and the stuff that's in here, I just put it in my app, right? I have questions that prompt me, but it's all going. Who are you thinking about? What decisions did you make? Are there any decisions that are coming up? All right, what was concerning? What was fun? What successes did you have, right? It's all going out. We're talking about giving your coach things to help you, tools. Boost your self-confidence. How do you do that? Go about doing that. Find something to do. Give yourself successes. Find a new hobby. Get good at it. Find something you like to do. Become good at that. So that's another thing that you have. Give yourself wins. Set yourself up for success by having defined goals and ways to get there. When we talked about SMART goals, and as you're looking at these goals, remember, it is the process. It is the process that's important. Because sometimes we've got those things that we got checked off and we don't hit them, right? But if you're doing the process, if you're in the process, then all of those things will fall into place. And then when you do something that is good, something that's successful, when you achieve something, reward yourself. Have a me party. Like, I did it. I got there. Woohoo! Right? Excited. Along the way. You don't have to wait for the big, grand finale. Along the way, find places where you can reward yourself. When we're talking about giving the coach tools on how to support you. And then the next thing in how we go about strengthening our inner coach, be compassionate with yourself. Well, be compassionate with yourself. Would you talk to your friends or family member the way you talk to yourself when you don't achieve a goal? Would you ever say the things that you say to yourself? Probably not. So why do you say them to yourself? Be kinder, be gentler. Allow the coach to use those tools we just talked about to pump you up. No, dude, you're good. Use affirmations. Repeat them. I am somebody. And I've said this on other videos. I am somebody. I'm important. I'm a great dad. I'm a great husband. I'm an excellent endocrinologist. I'm a great content creator. I'm a good speaker. Good. I'm going to go back. I'm a great speaker. Repeat those to yourself. Not necessarily during the time, and yes, during the time when you're having issues, but practice them over and over and over so the brain goes there and begins thinking more positively of yourself. Get some mantras, write them out, put them on your wall somewhere. Choose affirmations that resonate with you and say them out loud. Write them down whenever you need a boost. Put them, that journal we talked about or that app that we talked about where you're recording your resume. Put them in there so you can read them, so you can see them, so they are easily accessible. So be compassionate with yourself. Develop and maintain quality relationships. So we're talking once again about how do we strengthen the inner coach. Make opportunities. Notice what I said. Make opportunities to connect with positive people. Don't just expect it to happen. You've got to go out and you've got to seek it. You've got to spend time with those people. You got to make opportunities to have quality time. Hang around with people who make you feel good about yourself and who will support you whether you succeed or whether you fail. They will remind you of your worth when you're feeling down about yourself. So important. So how do we strengthen that coach that's in us? We decide that we will put the coach in charge. We develop the art of quietness and practice mindfulness. Give your inner coach tools to use in supporting you. Be compassionate with yourself and develop and maintain quality relationships. The bottom line is this: strengthening our inner coach is essential if we want to achieve our goals and if we are developing a new version of ourselves. By listening to the coach's guidance, we can tap into our power and wisdom and create the life that we want to live. Try these things that we just talked about. Stop this video. Go back. Watch the video. Apply them. Get someone with you and do it together. Say, hey, I got this video I want us to watch. Let's do it. And let's start putting these things into practice. So the goal for these videos that I've been doing this month is not just for them to be out there in the cloud in cyberspace. If they're going to be beneficial, we as a community, we've got to take them to heart. We've got to apply them to our lives. I can't wait to see the benefits, the development that's going on in your life if you do these things. I've been growing. I was just telling my wife this morning, right? I've been telling her all this month that as I'm doing these, oh yeah. My brain is saying to me, okay, dude, hey, we got to work on this one. We got to work on that one. Oh, let's go back and look at that video. So that's my goal for you. For this video, take it, find someone, sit down, listen to it together and begin working. Right? Make that commitment. If you're going to make that commitment, I want you to put, even if you're watching this on the replay, I want you to put me in the comments. If you've not already done so, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so that you'll know when we get new content. We love that you're here. As we come to the end of the month, like I said, I'm going to be giving you some information about how we can continue working together. So stay tuned for that. But this is Dr. Dwayne Wood. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. And here on our channel, we help to educate, we help to empower, and we help to encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications. Go to the next level. Live that life that you have always wanted. We'll see you on day number 27 tomorrow. Have a good evening, everybody. Good night. Let's get some music. Let's get on out of here.